Hi, I'm James Hamilton from Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. And when I bought my first dado set, I had no idea what I was looking at. I just grabbed the cheapest one I could because, after all, it's just a thick saw blade, right? That was a long time ago, and since then I learned that some tools are worth understanding properly before you throw your money at the wrong thing. So today I'm going to tell you what to look for in a good dado set. Let's get started. It is true that a dado set is essentially an adjustable saw blade. It begins with two outer blades. On most dado sets, these two together will give you a 1/4 inch wide kerf. That's the smallest that you can cut with most dado sets. Notice I said together. You can't just use one of these outer blades on its own to cut a narrower kerf than 1/4 inch. Not if you want good results. They aren't designed to work that way. Notice how each blade has a side that's marked this side out. That's because the tops of the teeth are all ground at an angle that slopes toward the inside face. The teeth on the other blade are ground at the opposite angle. So when you install them with the proper sides out, you have rows of points on the outside faces to sever the fibers along the edges of your dado or groove. So these two blades are designed to work as a pair. Besides the angle of the top of the tooth, the angle of the face of the tooth is important too. A good dado set will have what's called a negative hook angle. That means that the face of the tooth, not the top, the face, is ground so it leans backwards by about 5 degrees. This will produce less chipping at the shoulders of your dado or groove, so I would not buy a dado set without that feature. The number of teeth is important too. Depending on the dado set, you may have between 12 and 42 teeth on each outer blade. The more teeth you have, the cleaner it's going to cut across the grain. But the fewer teeth you have, the more effectively the chips are going to be removed during the cut. Fast chip removal means faster cutting and a blade that stays cooler and sharper longer. I think 24 teeth per blade is the best compromise between clean cuts and effective chip removal. Now, not all of the teeth on the outer blades are angled. Every 6th tooth is ground flat across the top. These teeth are called rakers, and they're designed to cut out the middle of the kerf, making it possible to use the two saw blades together and still get a flat bottom cut. Otherwise, since you're cutting with points on your outer surface, you'd end up with a V bottom. If you want to make your cut wider, you have to make the row of rakers in the center wider, and that's where chippers come in. Chippers can be layered between your outer teeth to give you a wider row of flat ground raker teeth. While the points on the blade sever the outer edges of the cut, these chippers hog out the middle. Some dado sets have chippers with just 2 teeth on them. Others have 4 or even 6 teeth per chipper. The fewer the teeth on the chippers, the faster the dado set will cut, but the more teeth you have will give you a cleaner bottomed kerf. I think 4 teeth per chipper is a good balance between quality and speed. Another important feature of the chipper is their thickness. Most dado sets come with a few that are 1/8 of an inch thick and one that's 1/16 of an inch. This allows you to swap in combinations to adjust the width of your dado set by 1/16 of an inch increments. Any finer adjustments would have to be done with shims. A good dado set, however, will also give you a 3/32 inch thick chipper. This makes it easy to set up the dados for plywood, which is always undersized. So I highly recommend getting a set with a 3/32 inch chipper in addition to a 1/16 and some 1/8 inch thick ones. As I said, you can fine-tune your dado set with shims, and anything can serve as a shim. You can even make your own with paper. Most dado sets come with metal or plastic discs to use. They work great, except they have one major flaw in my opinion. When a shim goes on the arbor of your saw, it can easily slip between the threads. Then when you tighten the dado set down, it can get pinched in there, which deforms it around the hole. This all but ruins the shim. I much prefer magnetic shims. These don't come in any dado set that I know of, but a couple of companies sell them on their own. I'll put a link to them in the notes below this video. Just click on Show More if you're on YouTube. I like them because you can slap these things right on the saw blade, and they're going to stay on there. The holes are oversized, so they never touch the arbor, and they come right off when you pull your blade off the arbor again. Handy. Now that you know how to find a good dado set, you have to know how to set one up. That's just the sort of thing we teach over at Stumpy Nubs Woodworking Journal. So head over to stumpynubs.com where you can read and subscribe for free. You'll be glad you did. Happy dadoing.